Okay, gang, easy day today. We're gonna learn the difference between climate and weather. Okay, so first we're gonna start with climate. Climate is a long-term weather pattern of a particular region. So there's many different climates on the planet. Okay, the climate is predictable. Okay, it's the long-term trend. Okay, in a weather pattern. Okay, so if you take a particular region of the planet, it's gonna have a very particular climate. Okay, the weather pattern is going to be somewhat predictable. Although day to day the weather might change, the general climate will always stay the same. Okay, there's many different types of climates, as I said. Let's take a few that are very extreme. Take Saudi Arabia, for example. Although it's not always hot, it's typically hot, but it's always dry. Okay, you're not going to get a lot of rain there. So if you look at the weather forecast for the day, it's almost never going to have rain. Okay, so it has a very particular climate. It's very arid. It's very dry. The Amazon rainforest is quite the opposite. It's very humid. It's wet all year round. Okay, it's also it's quite hot. It never really gets below 70 degrees in the Amazon rainforest, and it never really gets above 100 degrees. The weather is very predictable. It's probably always going to rain, and it's always going to be hot. Northern Siberia or northern Alaska or northern Sweden or Finland, anywhere near the Arctic Circle, is always going to be cold. You can always bet if you look at the weather, it's going to be cold that day. Sure, it might get relatively warm at certain times of the year, but the summer is going to be very, very short, and it's not going to be what we would call warm. Okay. If you take a seasonal climate like China or most of America, most parts of Canada, almost all parts of Europe, the seasons change. Okay, so there's very hot summers and there's very cold winters. Okay, and different parts of the planet determine if those areas are going to get a lot or a little bit of moisture. Okay, a lot of snow or rain or hail or sleet. Easy way to remember what climate is. If you don't like the climate, move. Okay, if you don't like the weather, you just wait a day or two, or maybe wait a season. Easy way to remember. If you don't like the climate, move somewhere else. Weather's a lot easier to remember. Okay, most of you probably already know what it is. Weather is the short-term pattern. Okay, so the weather will change every single day. Okay, it might not change a lot, but it's definitely going to change the condition of the atmosphere on a given day. Okay, it's not predictable. Okay, as you can see from the weather in late March and early April, it's very unpredictable. Sometimes it's pouring, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's 32 degrees, sometimes it goes up to 52, but you're never going to see a giant leap in weather wherever you are, whether you're in northern Siberia or you're in Saudi Arabia, whatever. You're never going to see a drastic change in the weather in one day. Okay, it's somewhat predictable in that way. Okay, but it's never going to be the same. That's why we have a forecast. Okay, words that we would associate with weather: rainy, windy, sunny, snowy, forecast, tomorrow, later in the week. But you would never, unless you're talking about an almanac, you would never talk about weather in a year from now, because we really just don't have an accurate measurement of what the weather will be. It's the condition of the atmosphere in a very short stretch of time. Okay, so this is a hypothetical weather situation. Monday, this could be us in early April. It's sunny and 58. Tomorrow it's going to be rainy and 47. And then Wednesday it's going to be windy and 52. Okay, who knows what Thursday will bring? You got to look at the weather. But what you can know is that it's never going to be the same. Okay, the climate is predictable. Okay, the weather is not. The weather is always going to change. The climate of a particular region is always going to be relatively similar to the day before. Okay, you're never going to see huge leaps here. This will always be consistent. Whether you're in the desert, it's always going to be dry. In the polar region, it's always going to be cold. In the tropics, it's always going to be warm and wet. Okay, consistent. Okay, another way to remember this: if you don't like the weather, wait a day or two. If you don't like the climate, you probably should move somewhere else. Should be an easy concept, guys. make a Venn diagram, stay scientific.